going to be the marble tutorial on how to do the marble design. Let me put the TV on something that I can listen to in the background real quick. This is the one I posted before. I've done a live with it before in another group, and this will be my first live, I think, in this group. So I'm super excited. So real quick, I'll go over the supplies you need, which I always forget something. I forgot my epoxy. Hold on. Alright, so, hey Diane. That's my mom's name. So you're going to need your epoxy right here, your epoxy of choice. You're going to need your glitters. For this live, I'm going to use the same glitters I used before, because this cup is for a person who requested purple. I'm going to use my Backfist Customs glitter. I got Vibranium 2.0, which is like a chunky, Halo, and London. Those are the glitters I'm going to use. Then I'm going to use the purple India ink. I don't have any aluminite dyes, so I'm using alcohol inks and India inks. The black India ink, white alcohol ink, a tiny bit of white alcohol, white acrylic paint, and this is Snow White. I'm going to use the silver mixative, which is going to go in my black India ink. And I'm going to use the eyeshadow, LA Colors. This is Snow White. This is going to act as my mica powder. So, and I think I'm going to add this Luminaire by Jacquard. It's Halo Violet Gold. I'm going to add this in there because it's really pretty. And that's going to go with my gold, my purple alcohol ink, my purple India ink. You need your medicine cups, and I'm going to use 6 of them. And your cups to mix however you mix your epoxy. The lives or tutorials I did before, I used 20-ounce cups. Today we're going to use a 30-ounce. But I'm pretty confident it's going to go well. So I'm just going to mix a little more epoxy than what I did before for that. You're also going to need something to scoop out your glitters. These little tiny spoons at Dollar Tree. Or left over from a party. You're going to need your baby wipes. And gloves and extra popsicle sticks if you're gonna use them. So first I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mix up some of my epoxy because I want it to get just a little bit thick, not super thick, just a little bit, because I don't want this to be like an alcohol ink flow cup. I don't really want my colors to move or to mix very much. So the epoxy is going to turn a little bit on the cup and it's going to set a little bit. So when I mix my epoxy, I use 2 cups and I label 1A, 1B. And I reuse those until they look nasty and gunky and I need to toss them. So I'm going to measure out. I'm just going to do a full cup of each one. And then I label my popsicle sticks the same. And I reuse those. And I'm going to mix a little bit more once I get this all mixed up. I'm going to add just a little bit more once I pour this in there. Put y'all down so y'all can see. This is my part A. And if anybody has any questions about anything, feel free to ask. I feel like in this group, everybody's kind of like experienced and not really going to have very many questions. But if you do, you know, ask me and I'll answer if I have an answer. So with the 20-ounce cup, all I mixed was the 30 mils of each. But I'm going to add a little bit more because it's going to take a little bit more epoxy to cover my cup than the 20 ounce, of course. Not a whole lot more, but just enough. I feel like I need to mix a little bit more. Get all that in there as much as possible. I'll untag her later. I don't know why I always ask if I want to tag my sister in my videos. I wish that would go away. All right. And I'm going to move this over. I'm going to mix the set. I'm pretty confident this is all I'm going to need. So I'm just going to mix until it's clear. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's cloudy. Oh, cool. I'm doing the keto right now. I can't have Pizza Hut, but that sure does sound good. Although the keto isn't bad, I just miss the carbs. Like, I mean, it's good food. Just, I want some bread and some pasta. I want some fruit. I eat a lot of fruit. And fruit is not good on keto. So, just gonna keep mixing until I get it clear. A lot of people, when they mix their epoxy, they mix it slowly, yada yada. I don't. I just mix. I have a lot of bubbles, and when I mix my epoxy, but I always let it sit for a little bit and the bubbles rise, and then I have a torch and I use my torch. Hey Marilyn. And then I use my torch on my cups, so I don't have problems with the bubbles. And I'm super impatient to do the slow stirring. And I really like this cup, and a lot of people like this cup. I had a whole way more likes, of course, than I had orders, but I had a couple orders off of this, and they really like it. So, and it's really fun and easy to do. So I'm going to make sure, I'm going to scrape around the sides and the bottom, make sure I get all this epoxy mixed up, because I don't want any sticky or tacky parts on my cup. I want my epoxy to dry, right? So I'm just going to keep mixing. I'm making the marble cup. It's called the Nikki Marble, and it's been floating around really hard in all the groups, and it's super pretty and it's super easy. So that's what we're going to do today. It's the Nikki Marble. It's just a marble technique. Alright. I also add these drops. Yay, great. I hope I live up to your expectations, Tracy. I also add these drops. These are Casting Craft Transparent Resin Blue Dye drops. I add these to all my epoxy mixes, and it's supposed to help with the yellowing of the epoxy. And I've heard that it doesn't really help with the yellowing. It's more like a trick of the eye thing, but whatever. Just a tiny drop is, I don't know, I don't want to take it too far. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just a super tiny drop in there, like it dissolved already. And but y'all can see it when I'm mixing. And I add it to all my epoxy mixes. And I'll mix my epoxy first because I want to make sure it's clear, and then I add that the Casting Craft Transparent Blue Dye drop. The ink is going to be for the colors in the marble, and it's taking the place of the aluminite dye. I don't see why not. The white is just to give it a base color, and you don't even have to use white. Like, I've recently seen some people use different base colors on there, but I've used acrylic paint on before I started spray painting, so I don't see why it would not work. Okay, so I'm going to put a glove on because I'm going to get this epoxy on to my cup. And I'm going to turn y'all so y'all can see that. I use the, what are these? Dr. Martin's India inks and Pinata alcohol inks, Jacquard Luminaire. I'm going to post pictures of everything after I'm done with the live, because like I can't post pictures before, because then it won't let me go live. I don't know if that's just me or what. So I'm just going to put a layer of epoxy. It's not going to be super thick, and I don't want it too thin either. It's kind of like in between a regular layer of epoxy and a layer if I was going to use the glitter method the epoxy method to glitter my cup. So it's not like a flood coat or anything, but it's a little bit more than what you would use for glittering. Because you don't necessarily want your colors flowing, but you want to be able to manipulate them and move them. Hi, buenos dias. Buenos dias. Say it with a Texan accent. I am not speak Spanish. Okay. What is that? Asianos. What am I doing? Right? And a marble cup. Right? So what am I doing? Asianos. Do not try to make me remember high school Spanish. If my daughter was here, she'd be able to tell me, but alas, she isn't here. Oh, hi, Pamela in Canada. It's turned out to be a pretty day down here in Texas, in Houston. All right, so I got my epoxy on there. And I'm gonna turn you guys back around. Y'all can see me do the glitter. All right, so I'm gonna get my little cups out. And these are what I'm going to use to put my different colored glitters and inks. Alright. Get my little spoon. And I'm going to spoon them out. And you just need tiny bits. That's it. Just little tiny bits. You don't need a whole lot to do this. And I'm going to tap out. I got this eyeshadow from the Dollar Tree. And this just gives it the mica, the shimmer, not the glitter, like the shimmer. You'll see how much it is. That's about it. If you do not have a cup turner, I don't know how you would do it because it needs to be turning. So I don't know exactly how you would do it. And my spoon at London is so pretty. It's so pretty and sparkly. I want to cover a whole cup in it. Look at that. This is London glitter. What I was tapping, ooh, negative 29 degrees, no way. What I was tapping was the shimmering loose eyeshadow from LA Colors from Dollar Tree, from the dollar store. And I'm going to do, this is Vibranium, just a tiny bit. And I'm going to get the Vibranium Chunky. And these are color shift glitters. So it's like a color shift from purple to turquoise to like green, kind of like. And I'm going to squeeze out some ink. And you just need a tiny bit of the black because you're not going to use a whole lot. That's it. And in the black, I'm going to add the silver mixes. I get my glitters from Backfist Customs glitters. And I linked in the tutorial all the colors. I linked them. And you can also use code CUPS15 and get a discount. And he does ship to Canada. I do know that. And just a couple drops of the mixative. And the mixative is going to like give it cells. It's going to give it death. And then I'm going to do a couple drops of the purple. Again, you don't need very much. And the white is going to be your biggest epoxy separator. Oh, crap. Okay. Y'all, I forgot to turn off. Alright, I forgot to turn off my Wi-Fi. I forgot to turn off Wi-Fi. I do apologize. I wish somebody had said something. I'm so sorry. It'll get better. It's not your phone, it's my end. It should be a lot better. And I'm going to add the white alcohol ink. Crap. I hope it's not too bad. Well, I'm going to link this in YouTube too, and I'll post the YouTube link on here on the description. And I don't use a bunch of acrylic because acrylic makes the epoxy stringy. So like I said, I'm going to mix a big amount of the epoxy into the white because you're going to use a lot of the white. And then just a tiny amount for the black. A tiny amount for the purple. And your chunky glitters need a lot of epoxy. Yeah, my London is a chunky, and the Vibranium 2.0 is a chunky. And then some in the faux mica in our eyeshadow, and in the white glitter. And then I'll just kind of the rest and these individual ones. Y'all let me know if the picture should have cleared up. Alright, and I'm going to use one popsicle stick, so I'm going to go from lightest to darkest when I'm mixing these. So, I'm going to mix the eyeshadow, and that's all you need. And the eyeshadow just acts like a mica powder, but it's just a lot cheaper. I get it from the dollar store. It's $1. And this is the Halo, which is the white glitter. Okay. And then I have the white alcohol ink and acrylic paint. And you have to move a little fast, not ultra fast. You don't have to rush yourself to where, you know, you're not getting it the way you want, but you don't want your epoxy to set all the way and harden. Then I'm going to mix the London, which is a chunky glitter, in here. Alright. And then I'm going to mix my purple mix, the Vibranium and Vibranium 2.0, which is a fine and a chunky. And I'm going to add some more. I don't want that so translucent. I'm going to add a little bit more of each one. Yeah, that's better. That's what I was looking for. Alright. And then I'm going to mix my purple. And this is why I use the India inks. It gives it a nice dark color. Opaque color compared to the alcohol inks. And then my black India ink and my silver mixative alcohol ink. Hi, Kristen. Alright, so everything's all mixed up. I'm going to grab another glove. Turn y'all back this way so y'all can see what I'm doing. Alright. And I'll try to keep up with the comments. So the first thing I'm going to put on here is my black. And I'm just going to let it follow the turn of the cup. So I'm just let my finger follow the turn. All right. And then put a little here, a little there. Just smooth it in there. And then I'm going to add some on the bottom. Yes, there was already epoxy on the cup. And that's all I'm going to do for the black, right? So my next color is going to be the purple. So I'm just going to do the purple opposite of the black. And it's the same thing, just letting it follow the current turn of the cup. Hey, Tanya. Now I'm going to add the white, and I'm going to put the white in between the darker lines of the colors. So it'll overlap some, but not a whole bunch. And like if you use too much of a color, your white, you can use your white to fix that. And then I'm gonna have to go back because I forgot to add some of the purple on the bottom. And then I'm going to add some of the white on the bottom. And I'm going to go back and add some of the purple on the bottom. And this is what we have so far. It doesn't look like much, right? But it will. And add more white. Okay. And now we're going to start to drizzle our colors in there. So I'm going to take the purple and I'm just going to follow the purple line. And you don't have to rush because your cup's going to come back around. And then I'm going to add some of the silver chunky, the London, and that's going to go over my black. Can y'all see that really good? Sorry y'all, I'm just trying to move y'all. Okay. So now I'm going to drizzle some of the white glitter. And I'm just going to let this drizzle. And if your epoxy starts to get thick, you can hit it with your heat gun or your torch and loosen it up some if it's too thick for your liking when you're doing your drizzle and all that. So, a little there. And I'm going to do a little on the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to get the mica, which is like the shimmer, and I'm going to do the same thing. Like, really, I don't even know why I use the mica, because the halo and the mica, that halo does its job. And I'm going to make sure I get some on the bottom. I don't put any of my chunky glitter on the bottom. That way I don't have to worry about my bottom being unbalanced. A little here. A little here. Alright. Now I'm going to get my white again, and I'm just going to drizzle my white kind of like the same way, but more strategic. So, through my glitter. And your white just breaks it up and gives it a contrast. Thank you, Rachel. Hey, Rachel. I see you in Tumblr 101. And then I'm going to drop some black, some of the chunky London. I want some, I saw a spot where I wanted it. Right up in here. And this is it. And then it's just going to turn. And you just let it spin. And we're done. That's it. And then only reason why I say you just need a little, and I guess I could have just used the 30 mils of each too. I didn't need extra. You have all this left. And I don't have my molds up here, but if I did, I'd stick it in some molds and make some keychains. So you could easily do, I would say, like, you could do like a couple of cups. Like if you had, you know, your turner set up. Because with what you have left here, you could do another marble design on another cup. You don't want them to, thanks Sharon, thank you Laura, you don't put a whole bunch of epoxy on your cup. You don't want it to be a flow. You want it to be more epoxy than if you were doing the epoxy for the glitter method, but you want it to be a lot less than if you were actually coating your cup with epoxy. Yeah, I'll do another layer of epoxy. I'll let this spin and I'll let this dry, and then I'll put a name on it or whatever I'm going to put on it. This is going to have a name, and it's going to have some kind of quote about being a fearless woman or being kind. I haven't decided which one I'm going to put on there. And then I'll let this spin and dry, and then I'll put my decals on there, or my name or whatever, and then I'll cover that with epoxy, and then that's it. As long as everything goes according to plan, I won't need to do any more epoxy layers. There it is, y'all. All done. They're super easy and they're super pretty, right? You're welcome. So the trick with doing the marble is you don't want your cup swimming in epoxy. So if you saw, I went ahead and epoxied my cup and I let it turn, and then I mixed my different mediums and then small cups and mixed that up, and then I went back. I used a full cup of this, but really I didn't need all that, because if you saw, I have all this left over, so you only needed, I could have just did 30 mils of each, and I probably still would have had stuff left over, because look how much epoxy I have in here. This mixture and this mixture, like, there's still plenty left in these. Thank you, Rachel. De nada, Anna. So, and there's the cup. And you see it's changing, but not a whole lot. Like, it's not all swimming together. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, does anybody have any more questions? If not, I'm going to jump off. I took a small break from work. I had to get back on the computer and finish my work day. It's Friday. Get stupid. No, let me stop. So, you can make you, thank you, Marilyn, you can make you a cup turner. Sheila, I'll send you a message. They're super easy. I made it, and I'm not power tool handy at all. Like, I probably should have took off my big toe when I was making it. So I'm not even gonna tell you exactly how I did it, but I'll send you, I have a list of supplies and all my links and the videos I watched, and I have other links, and really I just watch these videos over and over. Mr. Coop, Jim Cooper, he's in here, and Fintertainment, I think he's in here too. I watched their YouTube videos on making turners like a trillion times, and then I mashed them together and came up with my turner. So this is, like, that's mine. Can y'all see? And my turner. Microwave motor. I mashed up their videos together to make mine. Alright, so, and they're on here. Like, if you have questions, I'm sure they're in this group. Find them. Jim Cooper, I don't know if Entertainment, I'm not really sure if he's in here or not, but I know he has a Facebook page, but he's also on YouTube. Shoot him messages. I asked 1,000 messages, and I made 8 of these. Booyah. But no. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go. It's been great hanging out with you guys. One last look at the cup. There you go. Pamela, stay warm in Canada. Y'all have a great weekend.